All right, so check this out, right? This clip right here is talking about, his name is Dwight Smith. He's talking about how the Super Bowl or football games aren't determined on the field. And he actually was an old Buccaneers player from '03 when they won the Super Bowl that year. And he was being asked about how he feels that they've made it back this year. Basically his predictions, his feelings on the Super Bowl, like his thoughts about it and everything. And what a lot of the stuff he says is very remarkable. So I'm gonna just let this play. This isn't my video. This is actually another person's video. I'll leave the link in the description, but it's just my thoughts on it because I already got my whole feelings on how the all sports are fixed in some way, shape, or form. Every game you think about is fixed in some way, but not when just certain teams win. In fact, this guy, even though he has won a Super Bowl, he still says that the NFL is fixed. But I'm gonna let him go ahead and say it, man, and I'm gonna put in my 2 cents.
Well, I mean, this is something that no one's ever seen before. I mean, you're hosting the Super Bowl. The Bucs are in it. It's Brady versus Mahomes. I mean,
I predicted at the beginning of the year. I said if the NFL wanted to have the home team in the Super Bowl, this would be the perfect year. Pandemic, people can't travel.
All right, so that right there, actually, now I watched this video earlier, but that I just went back over it, and that was actually very compelling to me. What he just said, he said if the NFL wants the home team to be in the Super Bowl and play at home this year will be the perfect year to do it. It's a pandemic and people can't travel, so that just makes sense on why Tampa Bay will be playing at home in their stadium to host the Super Bowl this year. Something we've never seen before. It's kind of crazy, right? And it's Tom Brady's first year on the team, and they just so happened to get back to the Super Bowl. So that was a very compelling statement that he made, which I kind of can see where he's coming from with that. Definitely.
how big of an advantage do you think it will be for the Buccaneers not having to travel anywhere? Because obviously, when you win the Super Bowl,
That's not no advantage. I don't have no advantage.
no advantage. Okay.
No.
All right. So
Everybody's saying they have advantage at every home game during the year. So, I mean, it ain't like they won every home game. It ain't much of an advantage.
So tell me, obviously you're a defensive guy. What would the game plan that you would engage against this Kansas City high flying offense led by great Patrick Mahomes? I mean, how would you guys try and stop Tariq Hill? Let's say this was back in the day. It's a Monty Kiffin led defense. How do you think you guys would defend cats like Tyreek Hill and of course that fine tight end of theirs, 87, Mr. Kelsey's pretty dangerous too.
Well, we play cover two, so it ain't much you would change. You got somebody on the top. Our key was we had defensive line pressure. If you ever noticed in the NFL, the team who win is who get the most pressure on the other team's quarterback.
Well, without question, and you guys were able to do it back in the day. The Buccaneers might be able to do it against the Chiefs' offensive line right now that's really in shambles. They're banged up. They're decimated by injury, and you might be able to rush 4 and drop 7 and take your chances that way. Is that how you would do it, Dwight?
I mean, y'all know all the X's and O's, man. I'm just sitting at home watching. I don't like to get into that because I don't believe the game is really decided on the field. So,
All right, so you hear what he just said, right? He said he don't feel that the game is decided on the field. So this is a former NFL player, and for him to be coming out saying that is very remarkable, man. I'm telling you, because a lot of these players will tell you, and it ain't just players. It's not just NFL players. It's not just NBA players. All these players, all these people that are in the industry, whether it's in the sports world, the entertainment world, which it all is entertainment, in the sports world, the music world, the like doing movies, the acting world, whatever you want to say. Every one of these people will tell you subliminal messages in one way or another. They can't say it blatantly, but they'll feed you little subliminal messages in which you need to be able to pick up. But the 90% of people, 95% of people aren't going to pick these messages up. But they're saying it undercover. But you'll hear what he says. Just listen.
all the X's and O's and talking, man. Like I said, I played in the game. I set a Super Bowl record, and we knew every play they run before the game started. So, hey,
Knew every play they ran before the game started. How would you know that? You're on the opposing team and you know every play that the other team is going to run before the game starts. Why would they need to know that? Because basically they need to know when that certain play is going to be called so that they can know, oh well, we don't need to, don't tackle on this play, don't do this on this play, so they can get the touchdown, or turn the ball over on this play. As you see in this one, this coming up, because it's gonna show when the Seahawks ran through the football on the 1 yard line when they had Marshawn Lynch, but you will see it.
Well, tell us about that week leading up to the Super Bowl, because that was the big thing. Bill Callahan was the Raiders coach at the time. Obviously, John Gruden had just come over. Tell us about that week of preparation leading up to the game and how it was executed by you guys. I mean, you could know which plays.
In fact, it might have already went over, but I haven't. I'm just paying attention very little because I'm just putting my 2 cents in. It may have already went over the play where the Seahawks threw the ball, but it may still come up. But if it doesn't, I'll go back to it.
Knew exactly what was coming. Did you know every single play?
They didn't run that offense all year, though. They didn't think you were running when you played against us.
So did you guys know every play before the ball was snapped?
I'm just saying, man, the game ain't decided on the field. That's all I'm saying.
And he keeps saying it, man.
Like I said, I predict who's going to be in the Super Bowl. It ain't about who has the best players. Football is entertainment. So what's the most entertaining Super Bowl? The Bucs in their first one against Patrick Mahomes has nothing to do with these are the best teams, because we know that these are the best teams. The Bucs are the best NFC team.
That's true. That's true.
The Green Bay Packers.
Definitely true. And and the whole thing with Green Bay, if y'all watched that game 2 weeks ago, you will see how they kicked the field goal on 4th down when they were down, I think, 8 points. So they needed a field goal and a touchdown to win the game. So why would you not want to go for the touchdown first? You in the red zone. And they still decided, oh, we're going to just kick the field goal. So now you got to go back on defense and defend one of the hardest quarterbacks in the league, allegedly. Because Tom Brady, I don't think he's really a mobile quarterback. He's old, but for the narrative, it's going to be hard to do what you got to do against him. So why would you want to kick a field goal when you're down 8 points? It don't make no sense. You go for the touchdown first. You go for the big money first and then get the kick. But they did that so he could get to the Super Bowl. But that's just my 2 cents on that.
Well, like I said, the game ain't decided on the field.
But the Bucs
And he said it again.
You're not listening to me, man. You keep saying that.
So how is it decided if it's not on the field?
You for the Super Bowl in 2007. I had 2 pick sixes. One I took like 93 yards, another pick up there in New York to beat a 40-something. We didn't have AJ Peters. They went on to win a Super Bowl. Like, who beat what? I'm like, come on, man. Stop that.
All right, so how do you see this one playing out on Sunday?
It depends on what Vegas make that call. Who they how they gonna lose the most money.
See, he said it depends on Vegas. So that's another part.
Super Bowl that you were a part of and won was illegitimate?
I think everyone is.
See, he asked him, did you think the Super Bowl you were in was illegitimate? He said, I think everyone is. Even the player that won the Super Bowl knows that even when his time came to win, it was still scripted in one way or another. So even these players that do win, they don't turn the blind eye to it. Some of them don't.
Let me ask you, man. And we obviously appreciate you giving us a little bit of time. Why do an interview
Now listen what he says right here. He says, why do an interview? I'm going to let it play.
for the Super Bowl if you don't believe that it's set up the right way?
I think everyone is.
If you don't mind me asking, man, and we obviously appreciate you giving us a little bit of time, why do an interview for the Super Bowl if you don't believe that it's set up the right way?
Yo, that's funny, bro. That junk had me laughing. Because honestly, bro, it's like, he sit here, he telling the blatant truth about how these games are scripted down to the numbers or whatever you want to call it. They're scripted down to the first and last seconds. And then the man comes out and says, well, why even do an interview? I mean, we're like, come on now. Do you want the man to tell the truth or not? Obviously he doesn't. That's a rhetorical question. But it's just funny to me how, he starts telling the truth and it's like, well, why even do the interview? Y'all the ones asking to. But,
That's fair.
Anybody when we got to go there, hey, how's your family doing? How your kids doing? No, none of that matters. So I'm gonna give you my honest opinion.
and that's real talk. This is why I be saying that most of these people will tell you that how their personal life don't matter to these people that run the industry, man. They want their money, they want the ratings, they want the revenue. So your personal life does not matter to them. And he basically told them, he's like, y'all called me for it. Y'all called me and asked me this. You ain't asked me nothing about my family, none of that. So I mean, most of these guys will tell you that, man, but they can't tell you out blatantly because they that's why when they sign that contract, they got to keep stuff on the low. They can't just come out and say it to you. But see, the problem is so many people are sheep and been misled and been deceived. That's why these players get paid millions of dollars. You think they're getting paid millions of dollars just because they good at what they do? You know how many people around the world are just as good at football, just as good at basketball, baseball, and we don't even know them. They playing, doing crossovers, catching certain balls, kicking field goals, whatever. We don't even see them. Got the best footwork in the world, but we never see them because they weren't called to play on that high stage like that. They don't get paid millions just because they good at what they do. They get paid millions to deceive millions. So y'all got to realize that, man. And the players that typically don't want to do all the deception, they won't be in the high ranking. So they may still be doing they still do some of the deceiving, but they do it on the lower ends. But everybody got to play their part, man. It's like a chess game.
Yeah, we do. We do. I mean, that is our job, though, is to talk sports. I mean, it's not personal.
So what is your honest?
To be real.
We understand that. So what is your honest opinion of Tom Brady being in 10 Super Bowls?
Good luck. A lot of luck, you know.
Okay.
You know, everybody say Tom Brady, but if I can remember, there's a lot of kickers kicking kicks for him to make it there.
Well, Tom Brady did put him in a position to make those
So did Jim
kicks.
Kelly. So did Jim Kelly, but the kicker missed the kick.
He did. He did miss a kick.
He did.
He did miss a kick. He also lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
But it's Jim Kelly fault, man.
See, he laughed there because they basically tried to say it wasn't Tom Brady's fault that they lost the game. It was the kicker.
We break stuff down like it's so small. Like, this is the only reason that it happened. Like, come on, man.
So the reason you guys won the Super Bowl was
Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go back to where it shows Seattle throwing the football at the 1 yard line. I think it was like right up in here somewhere. Nope. Where is it at? Because that's got to be the stupidest play ever. Here it is. Stupidest play in NFL history, bro.
Who he thinks is going to win the game.
Here it is right after this.
Other nonsense is
And I'm going to get up out of here. You on the 1 yard line. Y'all see where that line is. It's on the 1 yard line. And you decide to throw the football with that man number 24 up there. You got Marshawn Lynch, who that same year had ran through 8 people and scored a touchdown. Basically carrying 8 players on his back. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. He ran through 8 players. They called him beast mode for a reason. And y'all throw the football on 2nd and goal on the 1 yard line. Come on now. But I'm leaving it at that, man. Just know that my answer is that all sports are rigged. It ain't just NFL, NBA. Just how people woke up and saw that the WWE is fake. But that was more easy because we don't all wrestle at home like that. I mean, we do to be fun, have fun. Just be, we little kids just playing around. But I mean, everybody plays sports for real. Everybody plays basketball, football, and all that stuff for real in competitive nature. So we don't think, oh, that stuff has to be fake. We look up to these people. And that's why people don't want to admit that these games are scripted, because they want to believe that the guys they look up to really went out here and grinded that hard because they looking up to a dream. They looking up to something that they could possibly do one day. But hey, it's a lot of deception in this world you're not going to open your eyes to. But I'm just going to tell you, man, this thing is scripted all the way down to Brady being traded to the Buccaneers and, being right back in the Super Bowl again. And I do believe tomorrow that Tom Brady will win his seventh Super Bowl championship. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another video on my YouTube. I don't do too many videos often, but I just thought I'd get my 2 cents, man. I'm out of here.